Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I am here with the incredible, handsome Harry Winston, and he's a little camera shy. He is such a beautiful little spirit, and his dad are visiting us, and the lovely Michael or Dr. Michael Dardano and Christian are here. And this is their little puppy dog. So he's joined me this morning for the live. But I just want you guys, we're going to get started in just a moment. So go ahead and grab a pen and a paper, something to write with. And then this morning, if you do have like a lime and you can slice it in half, or even if you have lime essential oil, go ahead and grab that too, lime essential oil, because we're going to use that this morning. This morning's going to be all about Zest for life. And I love using the essential oils because they all have emotional components too. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But most importantly, revisiting what our intentions were set, what our hearts have desired to manifest in the summertime, and keeping us inspired to do that, to keep those going, to keep motivated, and the best ways to do that. So we have a little lime theme this morning. Little Harry is sitting on a beautiful lime green chair. And we're going to talk all about zest and what that means. I know I like cooking with the lime oil and cooking with zest off of limes, but what does it mean to have zest in our lives? So go ahead, get settled, and get into a quiet place. Maybe turn your phone off unless you're watching this on your phone, and just let all the other distractions kind of fade away, and we'll get to this morning. So get prepared, and we'll start in just a second. And maybe Harry's not going to stay here the whole time, but he's hanging out. Come here, come here. Hey, baby. Hi. Maybe he'll sit in my lap instead. Oh, hi, buddy. Okay. So I wanted to start this morning by just connecting with a little meditation that's also connected to, hold on one second, I just want to go. Here you go, buddy. Okay, all right. I'm going to connect with a little meditation that is based on a passage I wanted to share with you from the Tao. Hi, guys. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. It is taken from one of my favorite and most influential books, the Tao. My favorite version, I'm showing you this because my favorite version of the Tao is Stephen Mitchell's translation. I love this. I first read this in seminary about 10 years ago, or gosh, no, about 12 years ago. And it's been a huge influence on my life. But what I also wanted to direct your attention to, and I put this all in the notes for today's live, is one of my heroes, one of my most favorite people in the whole world, who's an angel now, Wayne Dyer's Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. If you don't know this book, you got to check it out. It is so incredible. And it's a beautiful thing to do if you're looking for a daily ritual in the morning, just to start your day, to align your vibration with something that really speaks to you and uplifts your spirit and gets you connected with just the highest vibration you can in the morning. This book is so beautiful. I've introduced so many people to this book, and they all rave about it. So I'm going to share it. And what he does in this book is he takes a passage from the Tao. It takes one of these little tiny nuggets of wisdom, and then he writes maybe a page and a half on how this applies to life. So I don't know, I was obsessing over this book about 10 years ago, and it really improved my life. It was so influential. So I wanted to read you the 36th verse, which tends to be a very obscure verse while we're meditating, and then we'll go into a meditation about that zest for life. So go ahead and close your eyes. This 36th verse is not really quoted that often because it is so obscure, but we're going to explore through that visualization this morning what this means, what it could mean in your life, and how that applies to having a zest for life. So close your eyes, get comfortable, and just breathe, connecting with your breath. And just listening to the sounds around you, or you might be hearing my birds in the background. Not my birds, but the birds outside. I want you to connect to your heart center with that color green, which is one of the themes today. And breathe into the heart center, visualizing a light green or even a rosy pink is a wonderful color for the heart chakra, connecting you with your compassion, your empathy, your ability to connect with your heart's purpose, desire, and just sense of love. And with your eyes closed, if you're just joining us, begin to let your ears to sharpen their listening. And open the heart, let the heart listen. And I'm going to read you this very short passage from the Tao. Should you want to contain something, you must deliberately let it expand. Should you want to weaken something, you must deliberately let it grow strong. Should you want to eliminate something, you must deliberately allow it to flourish. Should you want to take something away, you must deliberately grant it access. The lesson here is called the wisdom of obscurity. The gentle outlasts the strong. The obscure outlasts the obvious. Fish cannot leave deep waters, and a country's weapons should not be displayed. So in keeping your eyes closed, just let those words, however they're percolating within you, stir up whatever energies are in the heart, and perhaps reflecting on anything that you might be resisting in your life. When we're trying to make a difference in our life and cut something out or eliminate a pattern that may have not served us in the best way so far, we typically get trapped in resistance, which we get caught focusing our energy on things that we're trying to get rid of. And as we know from the law of attraction, whatever we're focusing our energy on grows. And if we don't kind of believe in that woo-woo law of attraction approach to our lives, even though it is scientific, sometimes it can be off-putting for people. So if you think about something over and over again, and you think about something negative you might be just dwelling on, if you think about it over and over again, it really gets ingrained in your reality. It does shape your reality. So think about what you are wanting to create this summer. If you've been with me each Saturday, you've selected something very specific that you want to see manifest by Labor Day. And think about the things now that tend to get in the way of that, and how much energy you focus through your thoughts, through even what you say. I don't have time is short, I'm too busy. What are those verbal patterns that you get caught in that limit your possibility for expansion and manifestation of what it is you desire? And as we look at the wisdom of this 36th verse from the Tao Te Ching, it really speaks to allowance. And I think typically what we get caught in, what I believe we fear when we're making changes in our life, is that we are going to, if we don't push it away, it's going to take us over. But it's just the opposite. If we make allowance for whatever that is, if we have a fear coming up, oh, I'll never be good enough. if we can sit with that and explore it and be curious about it and see where it might have come from, then we can get at the roots and understand how to upgrade it, how to shift it into an empowering framing or reframing of that energy in our life. So with this verse, and I'm reading this from, not from my favorite translation of the Tao, which is Stephen Mitchell, but from Wayne Dyer's book, which I absolutely love, where he takes one passage each day. It talks about this lesson is this wisdom of obscurity. So how do we make a shift away from something, but need to turn towards it and embrace it fully? And it doesn't really make sense in our logical brain. But I love this example of those little finger traps. Have you ever seen them? And you stick your fingers in them, and if you pull away, it tightens and you actually can't be free of it. What's the way out of it? If we go in. There's so many beautiful sayings, like the only way out is through. When we deal with the shadows in our life, those parts of ourselves that we don't like, or we're shaming, or we're trying to hide, or just wanting to lop off altogether and cut out of ourselves, which is impossible, obviously, we need to shift the way that we're relating to those things and reframe them in a way that's empowering to us. So go ahead, if your eyes are still closed, think about one pattern in relationship to what it is you want to manifest this summer. And if you do have lime oil, or if you have a little sliced lime, just bring it up, breathe it in, or you can take the little lime and put a drop on your hands. I want you to breathe in that oil and let it wash through your sinuses, into your brain, into your body. Take a couple breaths. And let's reframe our relationship to whatever pattern that is you're working with. What keeps getting in the way? Is it a way that you're seeing yourself? Is it an obligation that you have towards something else? Or does it just feel like an excuse that always comes up and you let it take over? That happens a lot. Is there a fear of who you could be once you step into the realization of this manifestation this summer? I've shared with a lot of you that I'm writing the book that I've been wanting to write for a long time now, about 10 years. And I'm on the passage on forgiveness. I'm writing all about forgiveness and the power of forgiveness. Maybe there's something that you need to forgive someone else for, or forgive yourself for, to step into the realization of this heart's desire this summer. What is it for you? How is this old pattern weighing you down or getting in the way or getting sticky so that you don't feel that freedom to go forward with velocity, with that zest for life? And how can you wash a new energy into whatever it is you're pursuing? And if you want to jot a couple things down, that's what your pen and paper are for. If you know what that pattern is and you want to write it down and be very specific about it, write it on your paper. That pattern might look like something that you say over and over to yourself. I know with writing this book, there are other patterns that happen for me mentally where it's like, oh, I'm going to have everything out and exposed, and things that I've been teaching about for 18 years now open for scrutiny and ridicule. So what are those fears within you in stepping forward this summer into what it is that you want to create? And allow that, keep breathing in that lime oil. If you want to put another drop, or even in your diffuser, go ahead and do that. Another place to put this is right on your heart center, just rubbing it right in the center of the chest. And you can always take a little bottle of unscented oil. I know it's backwards, but unscented oil, and just put it on there as well, just to smooth it around. But what can you take today? What step could you take today towards the realization of that vision? Rather than resisting, can we listen to the wisdom of this passage, this 36th passage of the Tao Te Ching on obscurity? If we stop resisting, whatever these patterns are, they're not going to take us over, but we can uncover the hidden gem or the blessing or the lesson in them. So with this example, with fear of scrutiny, what other people will say or rejection in general, this kind of energy in our life helps us to be very diligent with who we are, allowing ourselves to be very intentional. Is there a way that you've been being in your life, maybe with someone in your life, a family member or a friend or your partner, that diminishes your light, that diminishes your zest for life? It's sometimes very scary to step into the fullness of who we are, that brilliance, that beautiful radiant light. And one of my favorite quotes is, I'm sure one of yours too, Marianne Williamson's quote about our playing small does not serve the world. And that we must not diminish that light that is within us, but in allowing it to shine, we give other people permission to do the same. So who in your life with this focus has that same zest for life that feels really like a family, like a tribal sense of connection, that every time you're around them, it's like bubbling essence. It's just beautiful. I love putting this lime oil in like sparkling water. So I'm thinking of that like effervescence of that sparkling and the relationships that feel like that. I know Michael and Christian, we've had such a wonderful time with them, and that's how that relationship feels. So what relationship in your life feels that way? And if you don't have that, be sure to tune in to podcasts or lives like this that help you reconnect with other people that believe in the power and the possibility of each individual on this planet and what we are here to do. What does it mean to connect with zest for life for you? And is that, whatever that answer is it too small? I know simplicity is beautiful, and each one of us has an incredible gift, that nugget of wisdom and offering that is ours and ours alone to offer the world. Maybe it's within your family and fully being that for your family, or in your church community, or in your school setting, with your friends, with your community of healing. What can you bring forward with this zest for life that all of us have within us that gets diminished by these disempowering patterns? What's calling on your heart this summer? And can you let that supersede the other negative patterns? That you're not trying to push them away, but remember, it's like that finger chat. Go into it. Let it be a part of you. Feel it. Process it. If you need to cry it out, if you need to beat your pillow, getting anger out, whatever you need to do to feel that fully so that you can become free of it. Then the rush of more of that zest for life will come through and feed the fire of the manifestation for you to move forward and allow that unique gift to be very specific and be fully realized this summer. You guys, thanks so much for joining me this morning. I know Harry was a little shy. He joined us this morning. He started up here on our chair, but you guys have to check him out. I spent the whole day with him yesterday, and he just makes me so happy. This beautiful beautiful dog, and you can find him on Instagram at Handsome Harry Winston. And what are the things that raise your vibration, that gets you feeling that zest for life? Do more of that today. Do something of that today. And feel like, look around you. If it's being in nature, that does it for me. Breathe in the nature. Breathe in the aliveness of what's around you. And then notice the cynicism or the resignation that creeps in. It's just old patterning. It's just old thoughts. It's old brainwashing. So begin to wash your mind, wash your brain with new thoughts. And check out the Tao. If you haven't explored the Tao, it made a huge, profound difference in my life when I explored it in depth. And I invite you to do the same. Also, check out David Chandler, incredible teacher from seminary in New York. He does a lot of workshops at One Spirit Interfaith Seminary there in Manhattan. And he's a huge Tao lover. So he I think, infused a little passion for that with me and everybody who studied with him. But once again, one of my favorite translations is the Stephen Mitchell Tao Te Ching, and I put the notes in the links in the Facebook notes, and I'll put it again in the Instagram when I'm done. And then, of course, Wayne Dyer, one of my heroes and influences. Change your thoughts, change your life. You want to find out more about lime oil, I also put a little link to find out more information. And if you have any questions, just please feel free to message me, and I will see you next week. But use this week to really get honed in on your zest for life. Oh, and next week I might have a different timing, because I'm going with my friend Matt Sadler to Tony Robbins' event in Dallas. So if you're there, find me, say hello, and we'll have an incredible weekend there. But I was invited by one of my dear friends. He's also father of our godson, Kai, and little Tristan. So I'm going to be there next weekend in Dallas. So if you're around, let me know. Would love to see you. And I'll keep you posted on when the live is going to be, because I think I might be in the fullness of that weekend. Okay. All right. Loving energy and zest for life to you all. Keep raising the vibration in your heart, in your mind, in your family, in your community, whatever you're doing, and allow that zest for life just to keep overflowing for you, okay? Thank you so much for joining me, and see you later.